I think you all are good. Students, today we are going to start the chapter 11, The Human Eye and the Colorful World. Students, as you know that our world is made up of different colors. We have different colors to be observed by our human eye, isn't it? And the human eye is the most sensitive part of our body. We have 5 sense organs. Out of these 5 sense organs, one of the sense organ is human eye, which enable us to see the things around us, isn't it? So I can say that the human eye is one of the most valuable and sensitive sense organ, which makes us to see the wonderful world and the color around it, isn't it? If we see the object, then we are opening the eyes and then observing. But what will happen if we close our eyes? If we close our eyes, we can identify object to some extent by their smell, by their taste, by their sound, by their touch, isn't it? But it is very much impossible to identify colors while closing the eyes. So, out of all the sense organ, the human eye is the most significant one, and it enables us to see the beautiful, colorful world around us, isn't it? So, in this chapter, we are going to read human eye, structure of human eye, the part and functions of human eye, then power of accommodation, and least defect divisions, defect of visions, least distance of distinct visions, isn't it? And their corrections. Different type of lens we are going to read here, and then the phenomena called refraction and how refraction takes place through prism, and many natural phenomena which occurs due to the atmospheric refraction, refractive index, scattering. All these things we are going to cover in this chapter. So let us begin with the chapter human eye. So this is the structure of human eye, and the structure of human eye is just like a camera. It have a lens system which forms an image on a light sensitive screen that is called retina. You can see the retina is the back part of our human eye, which act as a screen on which we can say the light fall. And after when on cornea light fall, then after that, after reflection, retina is that screen on which the image is formed. Okay, so first what will happen, first of all, you can see cornea. The light enters the human eye through the thin membrane that is called cornea. I have told you regarding retina that retina was in the last of the human eye, and it acts as a screen on which the image is formed. Then cornea. You can see that cornea is the outermost layer of our human eye, or we can say that it is a thin membrane of human eye on which the light falls first, isn't it? And it forms the transparent bulge on the front of our eyeball, isn't it? Bulge, you can see that the outer surface evolved out is called bulge. And what is the size of our eyeball? if you see, it varies from person to person, but approximately we can say that it is spherical in shape and have the diameter of 2.3 centimeter. You can write 2.3 to 2.5 centimeter. Okay. Then most of the refraction for the light rays entering the eye occurs at the outer surface of the cornea. And you know that what is refraction? Refraction means when light enters from one medium to another, isn't it? In light chapter we have learned regarding the refraction phenomena, and we have now known that refraction takes place in two mediums, isn't it? When light travel from one medium to another, then that phenomena is said to be refraction. Then we have discussed up to now cornea, retina and size of eyeball. Now let us discuss about the crystalline lens, the fine crystalline lens which have the adjustment power, which adjusts its focal length according to the focus object at different distance on the retina. Sometimes we see the object which are very nearby to us, and many times the object is far. So who is adjusting the focal length? You can see here that we are having eye lens, and the lens is, this crystalline lens is double convex lens which adjusts its focal length according to the distance of an object. If the distance is very less from the eye lens, then it minimizes its focal length up to 25 centimeter, and if the object is very far away, then it increase the focal length of its lens, isn't it? Then come to the next part of human eye, that is, you can see here iris, isn't it? And the eye lens is, you can see the eye lens is also controlled by this iris. So I can say that iris is a dark muscular diaphragm that control the size of pupil. Inside you can see pupil. And what is pupil? The pupil regulate and control the amount of light entering the human eye. What we have done, that this iris is a dark muscular diaphragm which is different for every person. Sometimes the color of iris is dark green, dark gray, sometimes different dark green, isn't it? Dark blue, black. So different person have different iris color, and it is controlled by, you can see that it controls the size of pupil. And what is the role of pupil? The role of pupil is to regulate and control the amount of light falling on it. Okay. And can you see the eye lens are controlled by ciliary muscles. What are ciliary muscles? These are the muscles which are found in our eyes and which hold the eye lens erect. Okay. Now the eye lens form, what type of image it will form? It will form the image inverted and real in nature. Okay. And it means that on our retina we are going to get the inverted and real image of the object. And in the beginning we have discussed that this retina is the screen where object image is formed, isn't it? So but this retina also contain numerous number of light sensitive cell. And what are these light sensitive cells are called? These light sensitive cells are called rod cell and cone cell. Rod, R-O-D, rod cells and cone cells. Okay. The rod cells are responsible for intensity of light falling on us. Sometimes the light fall is very high and sometimes the light fall is very less on our eyes. So it adjusts the light falling. The intensity was adjusted by rod cell, and cone cells are responsible for color of the any object. We are looking at so many colors. Our eye can easily find so many colors, isn't it? That so many colors are recognized, identified by the presence of cone cell. Or you can learn like this also, that C for cone and C for color cell. Okay, so the cone cells are responsible for the colors. Okay, and rod cells are responsible for intensity of light on retina. Now you can see here one aqueous humor is present, isn't it? What is this aqueous humor? Aqueous humor is the liquid formed between the cornea and the eye lens. Okay, it is a type of fluid that is filled between cornea and eye lens. And one more, vitreous humor is also present. You can see downside. The vitreous humor is the liquid filled between eye lens and retina. Most of the part of our eyes contain vitreous humor, and very small part of our eye have aqueous humor, isn't it? So I think all the structure of human eye is clear to you. I will recapitulate it once more and how it's work. These light sensitive cells get activated whenever the light fall on it, or whenever the illumination process start, and they generate what? Electrical signal. And you know that electrical signals, they are sent to our brain via optic nerves. What is optic nerves? Optic nerves means the nerves which are related to our eyes. They all are called optic nerves. Okay, and the brain interprets these signals, and finally it will process the information and tell that what object we are looking at. Okay, now let us recapitulate once again. First of all, cornea. Cornea is the thin membrane on which the light fall first. Okay, then iris. What is iris? Dark color diaphragm which control the size of pupil. And what is pupil? Pupil is a part of our human eye which control the amount of light falling on our eye lens. Okay, then eye lens is captured by ciliary muscles. And what is retina? Retina is the screen on which the real and inverted image is formed, and this real and inverted image is transferred to the brain through these optic nerves, and brain interpreted the electrical signals, and due to interpretation of these electrical signals, it then again reform the image. If you have remembered, I have told that on retina the image was inverted. The brain interpreted both the information collected from both the eyes and form a single image and produce a single image of that particular object in front of our human eye. Like this, the human eye works, and two type of liquids are present. One is called aqueous humor. The aqueous humor is present between cornea and eye lens, whereas the vitreous humor is present between the eye lens and the retina. Okay, so I think the structure of human eye is clear to you. So now let us move further, which we have done. Crystalline lens. What is crystalline lens? That is double convex lens. Aqueous humor, the humor which is filled between, you can see here also that arrows are represent to show this thing, isn't it? Aqueous humor was the humor which is present between eye lens and cornea. And then pupil, which control the amount of light falling on it. Then iris is a dark colored diaphragm which control the size of pupil. Cornea, the part of our human eye, the thin membrane on which the light falls first. Then vitreous humor, it is a humor filled or liquid filled between eye lens and retina. Optic nerves, the nerve by which the electrical signals are taken from retina to the brain. Then retina, what is retina? Retina is a screen on which we observe a real and inverted image of any object placed in front of our human eye. And ciliary muscles are the muscles which hold the eye lens. So all these are the structure part of human eye. I think each and every part of human eye is clear to you. Now crystalline lens. The crystalline lens is a lens which provide finer adjustment of focal length required to focus object. Okay, as I have told you that this crystalline lens, the transparent lens, have the ability to adjust the focal length according to the distance of a object. Okay, if distance is very much less, then it will decrease the focal length, and if the distance is very high, then it will increase the focal length. And this power of human eye is called power of accommodation. But it is called power of accommodation. And do you know what will happen? This eye lens is fibrous jelly-like material, isn't it? Its curvature can be easily modified by ciliary muscles. Whenever it bring change in the focal length, then what will happen? When the muscles are relaxed, the lens become thin, okay, and the focal length increase. You can remember like this: whenever focal length increase, the muscles relax and the lens become thin. And what will happen in the case when the object is very closer to our human eye? The ciliary muscles contract, okay, and this curvature of eye lens become more, and the eye lens become more thicker, isn't it? And the focal length of human eye decrease. So like this we can see easily the nearby object clearly by our crystalline lens. Then aqueous humor, the watery fluid between cornea and lens, we have discussed. Pupil, it is a gap between iris which ensure the amount of light entering the eye. Iris is a dark muscular diaphragm behind the cornea and control the size of pupil. And what is the function of pupil? Function of pupil is to regulate and control the amount of light entering the eye. Okay. Then cornea is a thin membrane which form the transparent bulge on the front of our human eyeball. Okay. From this only the light enters in the eye, and most of the refraction process takes place through the cornea. Vitreous humor, the oily fluid between lens and retina is called vitreous humor. Then optic nerves, the nerve which carry the information regarding the image to the brain. Retina is formed, the image is formed on the light sensitive screen which is called retina. And what will be the nature? The nature will be real and inverted of that image formed on retina. Then ciliary muscles, these are the muscles which contracts or expand to make the focal length of lens increase or decrease. Then power of accommodation, the ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length is called power of accommodation. I have told you that whenever the object is very closer to us, it will contract, and whenever the object is very far from us, it will relax, and the size of the lens also changes. So I think up to here everything is clear to you. We have discussed today what is the importance of human eye and what are the structure of human eye and how it is important for us. So up to now I think everything is clear to you. If you have any doubt, you may ask me. Thank you. Have a nice day.